Well, we're going to visit today with Mohammed El-Zare, who's the soccer coach here at Southern Miss. And Mohammed, talk a little bit about your experience and what excites you about the soccer program here at Southern Miss.
Well, first and foremost, it's an honor and a privilege to be the head coach here at Southern Miss, a school that is rich with tradition and history. I've been in the area for about 13 years. Prior to coming here, I was in Mobile, Alabama, and working at the youth system, but also I was the assistant at the University of South Alabama. So extensively for the last 13 years, I've worked at the youth, but also at the collegiate level. So I'm proud to be part of the development and growth of soccer in Mississippi and in this region. So that excites me, that going in the future that we are looking at some players that are from the coast area and from Mississippi that we are excited about bringing here. But also being part of Conference USA, a very competitive conference that produces athletes at all levels. The opportunity to work with student athletes at that level, but also compete against the best, is an exciting opportunity.
I don't know if there's a sport that's growing any faster than soccer. I mean, particularly here in America. I mean, it's got to be the fastest growing sport. I mean, anywhere you look nowadays, you see kids kicking a soccer ball.
And absolutely, soccer is the largest growing sport in North America, and soccer, anybody can play soccer. You could be short, you could be tall, you could be fast, you can be slow. The sport allows opportunities for everybody at different levels and to participate, which is one of the reasons that it allows kids to play and participate. Yes.
What about your background in soccer? You talked about your coaching. I'm sure you've played soccer most of your life.
I did play soccer, since as far as I can remember, and I've played also at the club level back home in Egypt before I came here about 23 years ago, a little bit over 23 years ago, and I played also for a short spell professionally back in Egypt, and so yeah, all these experiences have definitely enhanced where I am today.
Talk about your squad here at Southern Miss, the Lady Eagles. So talk about your prospects this year. Who are some of the young ladies that you've got coming back? How you feel about some of the young ladies you've added to the mix this year? What's your feelings about your squad this year?
We have a large class of seniors, that are seasoned seniors that have been here for 4 years. We expect a lot of leadership from them, on the field, but also off the field. And we do have a class of 9 players that are newcomers, 7 of whom who are freshmen, and 2 juniors that are transferred. The younger ones that we got several of them. I would hate to mention one or not the other. They're all have unique talents that will contribute to our program. On the upperclassmen, the leadership that we're getting from Kim Belmont is unbelievable. And obviously there's others also, the senior like Lindsay Schwarner and Danica Roberts. Definitely, I look forward for them to contributing immensely for us on the program.
Talk about your philosophy. I'm sure there's a philosophy that you've got about the way you like your ladies to play the game. So if I was to ask you what your philosophy of soccer is, what would that be?
Well, this is a very good question. Simply, where we play with a mindset and an attitude where the will to win exceeds the fear of losing. What I mean by that we are going to be aggressive. We're going to attack. We're going to play a brand of soccer that is very attractive to watch, but also effective and going forward and definitely entertaining the fans, but also being effective in terms of results as well.
I know people that are watching and listening to this interview may have had their kids play youth soccer, but the game's a little different as you move up the ladder. Somebody who may not have seen a college soccer game, what would you tell them that is exciting about it that would make them want to be there and watch a college soccer match?
Well, obviously, the level of the game has evolved, especially in the women's game, where the players are far more technical these days, and their skill level is improving every year. But also, to be a soccer player, you have to not only be able to jump, to run, to sprint, to backpedal. It gives you an opportunity to do everything beside only working all on a part of a team. It's a sport that allows various opportunities for any athlete to play. So it's good for kids because not only that it's a beautiful game and it's the game that the rest of the world plays, but it's a sport that would allow healthier lifestyle for kids as they go older and learn values of being on a team.
Conference USA has changed a little bit. A lot of new teams in Conference USA. When you look at Conference USA, how does that look from a women's soccer standpoint? Does it look like a good league, a tough league?
Certainly it is, and with the realignment, we've moved from 12 teams now up to 16 teams, and the conference is moved now to an East and West division, and we're on the West division. And what's happening this year is that you play every opponent in your division, and you play 3 crossover games, so a total of 10 games, which. It's definitely with all the teams that are coming in, there's going to be some time to get to know all the opponents. There's a lot of the teams coming from different leagues. They're coming from different parts of the country. You got some teams from the west, from the East Coast, all the way as far as Colorado. You got teams from Florida, from Tennessee, and as well Texas. So it's going to be interesting to see that teams from different parts of the country are playing a different brand, and sometimes also the environment, the culture has a lot to do with the type of soccer that they play. So it's going to be interesting in going into the first 2 or 3 weeks, getting a little bit more information on every team and identifying what kind of soccer they're playing.
With all the new teams and all the unknowns, have you thought about how do the Lady Eagles sort of fit in that picture? Do they have where do you see them in that Conference USA picture this year?
Well, from day one, we have been very focused on the things that we can control. And the things that we can control is how we prepare ourselves, how we, make sure we take care of our bodies and eat right and travel correctly and go to class. We're more focused on the process of getting better, the process of every day, trying to be the best we can be, trying to outperform our best performance and not worrying about, what the opponents are, focusing on how we're going to play. And I think if we focus on what we can do to get better and what we can do to perform to our best, then I think all the results and all that will take care of itself.
Talk about your schedule a little bit. If somebody watching has not been to a college soccer match, I know you have a number of conference games here and also some non-conference matchups, but talk about your schedule this year and kind of what your philosophy is when you develop that schedule.
Well, some of the schedule was already set before I came in here this past spring, but what we looked at a schedule, since we have a mixture of an upperclassman but also a huge freshman and sophomore class. We looked at a schedule that would allow us develop our players that are the younger players in terms of minutes and giving them the experience to improve their game, but also putting some games. For example, we're playing Auburn. You know, we're playing a couple of SEC teams and a couple of teams that have won their leagues in other leagues. So what we looked at, we wanted to have a non-conference schedule that will prepare us going into the conference. You know, if you look at our schedule, we're playing Auburn before our first game into the conference, and that game was put by design. We really wanted to challenge ourselves and see how we're going to pair up against a team that is in the top 25 going into the conference. So we did put some of those games to prepare us into the conference. Yes.
Sounds like you're excited to get the season started here in a few weeks. What excites you the most about your squad in this coming season?
Well, first of all, I mean, they're extremely working hard, and you know, all the ladies are you know, just a joy to be around with them, and they make practices fun because they're giving us everything that they have. I'm just looking forward to really, you know, looking back down the road and taking this program, you know, every year a notch higher and putting the program where Southern Miss soccer needs to be.